ladies and gentlemen, Namibi Ike Emmanuel Yekachi, one of the co-founder of G4S Play Consults. Today we're going to talk about using Canva or using software like Photoshop or Coreldraw. Which one make you a better graphic designer and which one give you an edge? So right here with me, I get Daniel and Israel. Now them going to chook man for this particular matter to tell you or to share their own honest opinion about this particular software. So I go start with Idris. Idris, my first question for you be say, using Canva or using software like Photoshop or Coreldraw, which one make you a professional?
Okay, as you guys know, my name is Odeshino Idris. I'm the co-founder of G4S Consults, and I'm a photographer, a cinematographer, a graphic designer, a video editor, a photo editor. Let's say I'm a USB. The best way. Okay. Let's say Canva. What is Canva? Canva is a software that we use online. You just need to access your Chrome, your Firefox, your Explorer, anything. Just put canva.com. It's going to come outside. Then Canva is for, let's say, beginners, people that I just need a random design. I can't afford to pay a graphic designer like that. Okay, I just say there is a small design, and Canva is as I said before, it is for beginners. They are going to give you. I always give you a template. You won't be very like it says the design is not coming from you. Let me put it like that. The design is not coming from you. Your creativity is not coming from you. You just make a template there and just use it. Okay, so let me go to Photoshop. Photoshop is for the pros, the big boys. Let me use that word, the big boys. The big boys in the graphic industry. Okay, you using a Photoshop to design. You are designing from scratch. Always designing from scratch. Photoshop is like, let's say, this is our whole world. When I gave birth to you, you start your life by yourself. So now Photoshop, you're starting your new life by yourself. It's not like Canva. You are born into your world, you. Yeah, that's that kind of stuff. Okay, but Photoshop is for the pros. You'll be unlimited. You'll be able to go to extent. Like you'll be able to do many manipulations, anything that will make you happy. But you see on Canva, you always be limited. If you even pay for their packages, you'll still be also limited. I have to say.
So you say everything you need to design they already there for Canva. And now waiting the users or people will get the software won't make you use now waiting.
That's what I'm going to use.
That's what you're going to use.
Another thing again, there's no ruler. You have problem with ruler. If you want to arrange your work, mostly there's no ruler there. There's no ruler on Canva. That one too will give you issue. And you need ruler to arrange your work in terms of alignment. A professional must always if your work is not aligned, they will be like, what kind of design is this? And so you just be like a baby in their front. So for you to be a pro, I will urge you to go and learn how to use Photoshop or Coreldraw very well.
Okay, that if we hear from your own opinion, what do you think?
Okay, so I would like to also add to what my guy Idris just said. So for me, Canva is where I'm coming from aspect of Canva. I'm coming from the interface for both sides. So for Canva, the interface is scattered. It's not arranged. Whereby you unlike Photoshop, whereby the tools is one side. You have where you can, if you want to access, you want to save your files, you want to open images, is also on one side. While your layer is on one side. But for Canva, it's scattered. It's not like that. You have to take your time, go through different buttons before even go through self. Time has gone. The time to even they give you to for the design might has even gone. You might at the end of the day you might become tired of the entire stuff. But for Photoshop, everything is well arranged. It's been put in a way that you yourself, anybody as a beginner, you can easily navigate through the interface. So that's what I have to say for.
Well, the way you describe Canva, now my first time to hear say Canva, they complicated though. It is what you think about that. Because most times people they always paint Canva say it is very easy and simple to use. But it's when you can't talk say it is complicated. You get it is what you feel what they talk.
Canva is very simple. Canva is very simple, just like pressing your phone, like using your phone. Like let's say this app like Pixel Lab, like using Pixel Lab on your phone.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy. You will see everything there. You just see the box too, the circle too. You just have box, circle, the just the move too, and pen too that is there. there's not so much stuff and it takes two. That's all.
So then, what about you? What do you want clear you want clear that part for us?
Okay, so as I always say, many people has the way they like when many people have the way they react to things. The way I see things is different from the way you see things. The way you understand things is different from the way you understand things. For me, I'm a very organized person. I like seeing my tools on my workstation. Anytime I'm working, I like my things being well arranged, being orderly. So that's why for me, Photoshop is always organized. It's you can how do I put it? You can see all your tools in a series of arranged straight line. Unlike, but for Canva, it's not always arranged like that. For me, it's not always arranged, and it gives me a headache. For me, it gives me a headache. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, it gives me a headache. So that's why I'm talking more, eating more on the interface.
Okay, I know so now going to expect me make say when I want hear my own part for this particular software, but I no go talk. You get, but just to say everything where they talk now from their own personal usage based on how they don't use the software. You get, everybody there entitled to their own opinion. You understand? So another question what I want to ask in terms of laptop type, do you understand? Which one requires plenty money for laptop type? Do you understand, to use inside Canva or working with software like Photoshop or Coreldraw?
I would say for Canva, you don't need a system that will cost you a lot. I just see a dual core with just 2 GB RAM. I can use Canva. I can use Canva on my phone, on my mobile phone. So it's still the same thing. Canva is very free, and Canva is very flexible. Sure, it doesn't need an high intense graphics for your laptop. It just, as I said, that's what I said. It's for beginners. Maybe I just need this rush work. But you see Photoshop. Let us go to the Creative Cloud. So they are the godfathers. Yeah.
So what did you talk say? Okay.
The Creative Clouds, there's always a requirement for, let's say like Photoshop 2018. You need 4 GB RAM, an Intel let's say an Intel graphics, 4 GB RAM, and a space of like, let's say 16 gig on your hard drive for you to be able to install Photoshop 2018. But you see Canva doesn't need any space on your laptop. You just go to the internet, or when you just have internet access, go to your web, then input canva.com, enter, then you do anything you want to do, then you come outside.
So then what should you talk about?
Okay, just like my guy said, in Canva, basically Canva, they have done it such a way that Canva, it's a website and it's also an application.
Okay.
So basically, you can type in www.canva.com on the website and it will open it. You understand? So you don't need a heavy system for that. You can also use your phone, as I said. And also for Photoshop, because of the new advancement they are always having yearly, the new AI system with the new introduction of AI and all this into these Adobe packages and so on, you tend to, so the system requirements always it goes up as the year goes. So now currently, if you want to use a Photoshop 2023 without any issue at all, your system has to be at least minimum. You have to have a minimum of 4 GB RAM system with either a 2 GB or 4 GB dedicated. But if you want to enjoy it, that's the minimum. But if you want to enjoy it more, I would prefer you get a system of 16 GB RAM and at least 4 GB to 16 GB dedicated. You enjoy it. But so for me, generally Canva doesn't require a heavy system, but for Photoshop and Coreldraw, you have to use a much more higher and dedicated system.
So in other words, which one they talk say with space we get like dual core, you go feel run Canva on top and with person we get dual core, you know go feel run a higher version of Photoshop on top You get, so we just guys they clear for regarding that. Make it not come be say somebody where they use Photoshop, CS6 go come outside talk saying they use Photoshop work, you get. So that's we just guys clear that aspect, you get. So another thing where I want to talk about, so you also talk about say in Canva they run on internet, it runs on internet, you get. So consider say really too good like that be per se for the kind of world where we find ourselves or the country where we find ourselves, say anything we fly on air, you go always affect network, think say na downside you get compare while working with Canva online. If it's in a downside, or what do you feel regarding the internet aspects, say as they run on internet?
Like Nigeria today, we know that one of the things that is setting us back, one of the barrier we have in Nigeria, is this data issue. Data, and so most of the companies we have in our street or our locality, they don't have free Wi-Fi. Let's say like a coffee shop, a restaurant. No, none of them used to put their Wi-Fi on. So, a normal person, let's say a 15-year-old guy that is into graphics and is using Canva, and let's say for that time he's broke. That guy can't do graphics. He can't do anything about graphics on Canva. That's one of the. That's one thing. That's one thing that even made me lose interest in Canva. Is data. What you see Photoshop is on your laptop. No matter what, you can carry it and go to anywhere. They work on. Somebody else call you and okay, I never have internet. I can work on Photoshop freely. When I do anything I want to do, then save. So Canva now, that is one of the barrier of Canva. Data. And in Nigeria, we have this data issue. We have that data issue.
So when they talk say Photoshop or Coreldraw no requires internet for you to connect.
It's offline.
It's always offline.
Yes.
You get. So Dana, what will be your own regarding the internet aspect? What do you feel about them?
So as we said before, that's why I don't really advise anybody to use Canva for this thing, for graphic design, because you always limit because of the country we find ourselves in. We are limited to what you call data. Like abroad, whereby even on the street itself, there's Wi-Fi. But yet right here in Nigeria, before you see that yourself gone, you know I go be. So basically, Canva, for you to use Canva as a graphic designer, you have to have enough data. And in this type of country we find ourselves, you don't have due to data restrictions and here. It will be a limit. It will limit you in terms of your graphic designing in Canva. But for Photoshop, it's a free software. You don't need to access data. I mean, all you don't need to.
Point of correction: Photoshop
is a data free software.
It's a data free software. So you don't really need data to make use of Photoshop. So all you just need is your system, and once you put on your system and you launch your Photoshop, you are good to go. That's it.
So when I pick from which you did, well, since often I talk, we say Photoshop creativity they endless.
Yes.
It endless. Why when it comes to Canva, you understand? If you never chop belly full, you know go fit utilize them. You get. So but what will be that peculiar future way day between Photoshop we know they for Canva? What will be that peculiar future?
There is this. Let's never go to this color field that Photoshop has.
Yeah.
This color field. Photoshop is very fine.
It's the interface.
It's not about the interface.
Okay.
It's the outcome of your design.
Okay.
It brings your design. It brings your design to life. Like when you're designing, like you'll be like, should I do this thing? Stop. You be impressed with yourself that okay. You even be impressed with yourself that I'm doing something. You understand? It's not like Canva that you just say only Canva is most of shape. It's not like you using pen. Okay, there's pen today. There's Canva has pen too. But it's not like Photoshop. This Photoshop color, this Photoshop glossy color that it has, is very, very fine. Most of you are using an upgraded system, like let's say from 10th gen. Like you are using like let's say a paper screen. God, the design will take you to the next realm. And if graphic designer understand what I'm saying, most of graphic designers understand what I'm saying.
So then, as you say, people will not be graphic designer, make them understand what's in this guy they talk.
Basically, for me, Photoshop, it's a better thing for me because number one, it brings your graphic design to life. You have this free will. You are not unlike Canva. In Photoshop, you have this free will to do whatever comes from your mind. You are building from scratch, so you are just like you going to the farm. You have to first of all go through the process of tilling the grasses and everything. So the same thing goes to Photoshop. So you start from scratch, and that's the beautiful thing about Photoshop. It makes you creative. because you have the free will to do whatever you want to do. So and it gives you this as you can it gives you this ability to what manipulate. It gives you to manipulate things the way you want. So that's it for me.
And wait.
Okay.
Let me put this in. And let me say on Canva, there's no mistake. There's no less mistake. I don't know why.
Okay.
On Photoshop, your mistake is turned to good thing. Like there was no life that I did for someone. Okay, like the school wanted to advertise this Ankara that they are selling for, like they are doing one Ankara stuff for their school. Okay, so I looked for a model that is tying an Ankara gele. Then I marked the girl. Let me just use my marks the gele inside.
Yeah, maxing now feature we did for Photoshop. What did it for Photoshop? You get now powerful feature we did for Photoshop. Where did they use work? You
Okay,
get.
I mistakenly maxed the Ankara inside the girl's body. Then I was like, wow. The Ankara changed to the Ankara that's on the girl's head. I was like, it wowed me. Like now when I gave the client that job, the client was like, how did I do it? And me, I was like, it's just mistake now. I can't tell the precise mistake. But I did that thing by mistake. But on Canva, there's nothing like mistake because it's just 1, 2, 3 for like 6, 2 that is there. How can I do mistake? There's no mistake. So you can't really do mistake on Canva. Canva is too serious.
Okay. So everything where everybody they talk, everything with both of them they talk, now from their own honest opinion and based on waiting they don't achieve or waiting they don't been able to do with these two software. You get our producer with it behind us to talk. See the way I take food in my hand. I say, be person where they fear. I know they fear now. Now the way that I be today. Now waiting make me just they put my hand like this. Now my style today you get. So another thing where I want more to talk about. Okay, when you talk say they feel print Canva design. I won't ask that question. You get they feel print Canva design.
See,
because me too, I don't get my own experience for this particular thing you get, but I be saying no with me they talk. I don't want to talk. You get I want just leave them for them. They share their own.
Okay.
So they feel print Canva design.
See, you can never print. See, you cannot the paid version. You cannot print. See, if you print Canva design, let's say it will be stretched or it goes pixelated. Like it will turn to box. Sometimes when you are printing from your printing press.
Sorry, waiting pixel means we say when you zoom in image, do you understand? If you zoom in image very close, you could see some shapes, some box shape. We get different kind of colors. Right. You get so now waiting pixel really pixel mean okay. You just move continue.
Okay. So and when Canva is mostly for mobile designers, like okay, people that all just want to view the graphics online, let's say like IG, Twitter, or social media handles, want to view. But let's say you want to print Canva design on banner, billboards. Yeah, playing. You know that's slang. They play. They play. Photoshop will give you this high. Mostly when you not save as web, you save as web is just like a feature if you want to save in Photoshop. When you save as web on Photoshop, it will be very high. You can even increase the bit rate. You can increase it very well to the highest. Depending on the space you want, you can increase it. That it will be very very sharp. Like when you move it on your phone. So when you take it to the printing press, they will be able to print and it will be very sharp and it won't be pixelated. Nothing will happen to it. But you see Canva is mostly for mobile design. People that want to view it on either social media handles or gadgets.
Okay. So then you agree for the fact saying talk say Canva now for people they do mobile design. What do you feel?
Basically, it's correct, and at the same time, it's not correct because it's not full. Because normally, it's not that you can't print a Canva design. You can print it, but at the end of it, it's not the end result because of the resolution is where the issue is. But when you print a Canva design, it becomes blurry. Just like the last experience we had, whereby a client from abroad gave us a Canva design, like okay, he wants us to print on it. So we were like, Canva design. So what we just did was like, okay, let's print one. So when we printed the sample we printed out, so we found out that it was blurry. Why? Because of the resolution. So that's one of the main restriction it has, Canva has, because you can't use it for printing press work. Why? Because you can't use it for printing press work. Why? Because of the resolution. And so most of the pretty press in Nigeria don't use Canva for printing. They use Coreldraw or Photoshop for printing. You understand? They use Coreldraw or Photoshop, and why they use it is because in Coreldraw and Photoshop you have the ability to increase or decrease your resolution for a better printout. You understand? For a better printout. So basically, it's not advisable for you to even use Canva for any printing press job, except it's a mobile device, except it's a mobile or internet design that you just want to post on your social media. You want to run and do and post it. As my guy just said. So that's it. But if you want to do a printing press job, you have to use Photoshop and Coreldraw.
But now, in terms of let me chip in something to what you said.
Okay.
I said about them printing.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you know that there's a new feature on Canva that you can save as CMYK? So saving as CMYK means that you want to print in the printing press. You can save as CMYK now on Canva, but you see the same thing as it will still be pixelated. It will be coming out. It will be very, very blur. Your work won't be sharp.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I just actually really avoid make I not really pull mouth for this but just that I just want correct something. You get saving correct something the way Idris talk. We say saving as CMYK no really determine the production or the project. I know really no be the major reason why your job will come outside fine. You get make I not say no be the reason we go make your job no go no go fit print. You get but not just the different mode, not just different color mode. You get exactly. You get some machines where we say what is they respond to now CMYK. Exactly. We get some machine where we say now RGB that they respond to. So depend on the machine where you work with or where you want print from, you can go determine whether you go change the mode to CMYK or you go change the mode to RGB. You get so you don't really determine the factor. Do you understand? You don't really determine the factor. So one of the things will also determine the factor where you go make your job come outside. Just like Idris earlier talk say increasing the resolution of the resolution of the image will also determine
exactly
the quality of your printout you get. So one of the downside where I go talk about Canva be say there are some kind of branding job where you go want to, do you understand, in terms of probably box design, do you understand? You have to take that design back to Coreldraw or Photoshop to redesign because you have to model all the box side, the size and the shape on how the design will take come outside. You get so now one of the downside why I actually feel I don't talk so I don't go pull marks for this particular matter. I don't talk about this particular. I don't pull marks for the matter already. You get but if you become a designer and you feel say wait till they talk, it don't really make sense for you. You get if you reach out to us, you get Moko have this session with you. I will also want to talk to you, make you talk your own part. You get just like I say, everybody now every information where you don't hear now from their own personal experience you get. But if you feel say you feel counter with they talk, you get just reach out to us. You get we're ready to have a session with you, make you talk about your own parts you get while using Canva and Coreldraw. While using Canva or Coreldraw or Photoshop, you get I know say you don't pick one or two things where you don't learn from this particular episode. You get make sure you like, comments and share. You get I actually want thank una when I don't take una time. People who don't take their time to listen to what we don't talk today, and I say make una encourage us by doing the needful. I want to say all of us here we say thank you and God bless you. We move. Good day.